Good morning, OACP members. As I'm sure you all are well aware, there is a lot going on in the state of Oregon right now, and a lot that can impact your agencies and your officers. As a result, I plan to do more regular video updates like this to give you the highlights of key issues that are going to be important to you. Today, I want to focus exclusively on the 2021 legislative session. As you know, in every odd numbered year, the Oregon legislature meets for 180 days. That's a constitutional limit. It's what we call our long legislative session. In even numbered years, it's short, it's 35 days, but this is a long session, and I believe it's going to be a grueling session as well. I'd like to set the stage a little bit for what we might expect this session, and then give you a few tools you can use to monitor the session yourself. I want to begin just by talking about the makeup of the legislature. As you know, and for years, we have kind of strong one-party rule. Both in the House and the Senate, Democrats have strong control. They have what they call, or what I call, stomping margins. That means they can vote for new taxes without a single Republican vote. And of course, we have a Democrat speaker. So we do have kind of one party controlling everything. The second factor this session that's unique and it's becoming a trend is we have a lot of new legislators. This session alone, 20 legislators that will be new to their positions. There are a few that have moved from the House to the Senate, but almost 18 of them, I think, are absolutely brand new to this process. And they're probably brand new to you as well. That adds a whole new element to the legislative environment. It means that I've had to really work hard to build those relationships already. And it's not just this session. This has happened now over the last 4 years. There's been significant turnover in the legislature and a lot of new faces. That means a lot of education, and we need to bring them up to speed on our issues. The other thing that's very unique about this session, for the first time in Oregon history, this session will be completely virtual. We will be doing all of our testimony through Microsoft Teams, which is the platform the legislature is using. And that is a huge disadvantage for somebody like me that's used to wandering the Capitol building. You know, I often call the legislative process, or that Capitol building, like a circulatory system where people circulate around, they have conversations. I can have a conversation with a legislator for just 2 minutes that can completely change the course of an issue that we're dealing with. That is not something I can do this session. Legislative leadership, the Senate President and the Speaker of the House have decided that only the legislators and a few additional staff are going to be allowed in the building during the session. And they can revisit that if the COVID pandemic eases. But for now, I have the same ability to access legislators that all of you do. Text, phone calls, emails. That's pretty much it. And that's why I'm going to ask you to help me this session. I'm going to reach out and ask you to engage directly with your local legislator. And if you don't have a relationship there, I would like to make the connection and help you with that. So please let me know how I can help. Now, the session started officially on January 19th. We've already seen 2,000 bills introduced. We've reviewed the bills. We've added priorities, we've added our position, and we have created a bill tracking report. I'm going to send you 2 reports each week, and I want to spend just a minute taking you through them so you know what you're going to receive and how to use the document. For those of you who have been through these sessions already, this will be a little bit of a repeat, but I think it's important for you to have the information. So I will take you through that briefly. The first bill tracking report you will receive from me each week is the bill tracking report by subject. So if you note, I've identified subjects for the bills, and as I've identified bills that we're going to track, I actually put them by category into the report. The reason this is helpful to you is you may have somebody in your department that has a specific expertise or interest in a particular subject area. You can actually forward this report to them and ask them to take a look at bills that are under certain categories. So if you have somebody that's going to be interested in, crimes and violations, you can forward this report to them and ask them to review those bills. Now, as I mentioned, there are a lot of bills, and this report is a long report, but it will give you a chance to look through to identify the things we've identified as things we support and oppose. Again, I want to mention right here, this is a work in progress. I am convinced there are mistakes in this report, maybe positions that are inaccurately entered. So if you see a position on a bill or a priority level that you feel like is not right, please reach out to me. Now, one thing I want to mention about these reports is in the left-hand corner, you'll notice that the bill number is in blue. That means that you can actually click on it to read the actual measure itself. And this is important because the summary that's listed is just that. It doesn't adequately describe what may be in a bill. And in longer bills, it may not even mention some critical pieces. Of course, that's my job to try to identify where there are issues in bills in detail. But for your purposes, if you have a bill that you have a particular interest in, you can just click on it on that left-hand side, and it will bring up the actual bill itself so you can review it. So I'm going to open this and see if it'll work. So it's going to load the bill. And there it is. So that shows you an example of a bill. Just by clicking on that, you're going to be able to see it. The second report that I'll be sending you each week is what's called the scheduled hearings report. So we have a ton of bills that we are tracking and monitoring. But what this report tells you is when bills are actually going to be scheduled for a hearing. It's important, especially if you have specific bills that you're interested in. And this will give you a list of them. And usually it's for about a week period that they schedule bills, but that's going to vary. And this report is going to get longer and longer. Now, I want you to note that it includes every bill that we're monitoring, even those that are not important to us. So you'll have to keep an eye on that. But if you look at the far right-hand side, it will show you the priority level. So you'll see when a bill is a priority level 1, those are the bills that are going to be critical to us, either to support or to oppose. Again, you can click on the bill by clicking on this hyperlink to the left. And there is an example here of a bill that was scheduled this week already. It was scheduled on the 27th, House Bill 2931. It's a bill that would require a medical assessment for every person arrested. So in the email that accompanies this video, I've included our testimony that was submitted. Chief Jim Ferreras testified on behalf of OACP on that bill and one other bill. And so I sent you the testimony so you can be up to speed on our position on those bills as you have opportunity to talk to your own local legislators. So I'll be sending those two out on a regular basis every week so that you can take a look at that. Again, if you have an issue that you are passionate about or that you believe you have a good story to tell and would like to testify, it's very easy to sign up to testify, and I would love to help you with that. Of course, in addition to the 2021 session, there are a number of other important things going on right now in the state of Oregon. I plan on sending a separate email and video update on the implementation of ballot measure 110. As you know, the start date for reduced penalties is February 2nd, just a few days away. And then there is an ongoing permanent rulemaking process regarding those OSHA infectious disease rules. And I have an update for you on that as well. But for today, I want to leave it with the 2021 session. If you have questions about any bills, would like to get connected with your local legislator, please let me know. It's easiest just to send me a quick email and I will try to get back to you as quickly as possible. So with that, thank you again for all you do, your support. It's a privilege to represent all of you. Have a wonderful day and we will talk soon. Thank you.